Well, the winter storm has moved out of Georgia, but we're definitely still feeling the icy impacts. I'm Joy Liv Nakrin.
And I'm First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin. Welcome to an abbreviated winter weather edition of Atlanta News First at 6. We are streaming on Atlanta News First Plus.
So we do have team coverage for you tonight in our Cool Ray First Alert tracker and also at the world's busiest airport. But let's begin with things right here in our Midtown studio with two First Alert weather days. And First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin, as this snow melts and then refreezes once again out on the roadways, one of the biggest concerns really is black ice, right?
Absolutely. Nothing falling from the clouds that we're still seeing. It's the fact that we still have moisture on the ground and temperatures are falling. First Alert weather day through tonight into tomorrow morning. We can finally peel this back around noon tomorrow, but black ice is expected. That means that any of the melting that we have had is simply going to refreeze on area streets, especially our secondary roads, our neighborhood streets, and those roads that are less traveled and untreated. Those are the keys. If you're not on a roadway that meets any of those qualifications, well traveled or treated, then you're going to be dealing with some slick spots. Already down to 33 in Atlanta, below freezing Carrollton, below freezing Canton, 28 in LJ, right at freezing in Gainesville, 34 in Eatonton, 34 Thomaston. Temperatures will tumble tonight. In fact, tonight is going to be colder than last night. And as that happens, as the sky clears, we may actually have some fog develop late tonight into tomorrow morning. And with temperatures so far below freezing, that could come in the form of freezing fog. So those tiny little drizzly fog droplets could freeze on area pavement. Any elevated surfaces as well. We're not worried about trees coming down tonight, but this will only add to the risk of black ice tonight into tomorrow morning, something we're watching closely. Not just the First Alert weather team, but also Atlanta News First reporter Brittany Ford live in the Cool Ray First Alert tracker. Brittany, interstates may be okay, but still that risk is there, especially in the neighborhoods tonight.
Well, Cutter, yeah, and I can tell you we're actually driving right now on 85 North, headed into Gwinnett County, just about to pass the DeKalb County Airport, and you can take a look. Conditions are clear. Conditions have been clear throughout our ride here. We haven't seen any slush or snow, all good signs. But tonight, GDOT says they will still have crews briming and salting as temperatures drop again, as you mentioned, through the night. And state officials say they've had crews working around the clock, 12-hour shifts since Wednesday. They're attributing the conditions of the roads to preparation and staffing that allowed them to get ahead of the weather. GDOT says they had over 1.7 million gallons of brine ready to go for this winter weather emergency. And while it seems the worst is behind us, they say there is still work to be done.
Our crews are still out there putting out salt, especially in areas where they don't get a lot of sun, where it's colder, maybe higher altitudes, bridges. We're still working. Even though the storm is gone, don't assume that there's no more danger out there. Give us one more day to work.
And again, you can take a live look at 85 North right now, heading into Gwinnett County. Still conditions are good. But again, I know we've said this a lot over the last 24 hours, but GDOT says again, that look can be deceiving. To stay home and off the roads at least until tomorrow afternoon. Reporting live, Brittany Ford, Atlanta News First.
Thank you, Brittany. And MARTA has resumed limited bus service on 7 essential routes today. You can actually find the full list on MARTA's website or by just calling their service line. And they do plan to resume full bus service once road conditions do allow for that. MARTA suspended bus services and streetcars yesterday because of the road conditions. Streetcar service is still suspended. And let's get a look at this time lapse from yesterday morning at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Flurries began in Atlanta just after 6 o'clock yesterday morning. It didn't take long for the snow to cover the runways either. And eventually we start to see those runways get cleared off, some planes taking off as well. Atlanta News First Blake Devine is live now at the world's busiest airport. And Blake, for the second straight day, hundreds of flights have been canceled and delayed, right?
Joy, over 800 flights are delayed as over 350 have been canceled, leaving thousands of people stranded here at Hartsfield. Take a look right now at the flight board. You see a lot of red right now. That's because we've had so many delays over the last few days. Earlier today, though, take a glance at this video. We saw some very long lines stretching out into the terminal as people waited to walk through security, many missing their flights. Yesterday, more than 1,500 flights were canceled as the FAA issued a ground stop, shutting down all 5 runways while crews cleared out ice, snow, and sleet on the tarmac. Friday morning, 4 people were injured and more than 200 passengers evacuated onto a snowy tarmac after an aborted takeoff on a Delta plane. We talked to some people who slept inside the airport last night. One man was stuck sitting on his plane for 5 hours on Friday as it never took off.
Canceled and delayed, then delayed, then delayed, then delayed, and then canceled again. So now all our flights have been moved to tomorrow.
This was a layover. So I came from West Palm Beach, landed here, everything was good, and then all of a sudden we're chilling for 5+ hours on a plane.
As operations ramp up following Friday's storm, Delta is encouraging its customers to arrive at the airport 3 hours before its flights, also advising folks to pack their patience for longer than usual security wait times. Reporting live at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, Blake Devine, Atlanta News First.
And, you know, the snow and the slush sticking around this evening. Check out this impromptu snowball fight outside the Georgia Aquarium this afternoon. Looks like they're having a good old time. And, you know, thousands of people did wake up without power this morning. The snow and ice taking their toll on our city's sprawling tree canopy as well. Atlanta News First Don Shipman spoke to people in North Druid Hills, where a massive pine tree blocked access to their neighborhood for hours.
This right here, not an uncommon sight. You got to take a look because this is a tree that is toppled down right across the road and onto some power lines. Look at those power lines drooping down to the ground. Also, notice all of the snow and ice on the trees. No match for the strength of that tree right there. It toppled over right around 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning, and with it took out the power in this neighborhood along Briarcliff Road. We've been canvassing the metro all morning, and we've spotted several neighborhoods with tree limbs down due to thick ice and heavy snow. The big concern with Briarcliff being blocked off for so many hours, we're right down the street from Children's Healthcare. Many people who live here heard this big tree fall.
Really loud noise. Wasn't sure what it was, and the power flickered, and went out. Had no idea that there was a tree down until I saw the flashing blue lights outside my bedroom.
And at the height of the outages during the overnight, for example, a good 105,000 people or customers without power. Georgia Power, one of the main utilities servicing North Georgia, saying that they're working around the clock to restore power. We're in DeKalb. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
All right. So, you know, of course, we've been looking at, you know, various scenes around the metro of really what we've been seeing over the last few days. One of the most striking videos from yesterday came from Atlanta's airport, where actually 4 people were injured when a Delta flight experienced an engine issue, and passengers actually had to use the emergency slides just to exit the plane in snowy conditions. And Frankie McClister spoke with one of them.
I mean, at first you're just wondering, like, is this real life, right? Is this actually what's going on? You know, there are people next to me who are trying to call loved ones.
Curtis James describes the tense moment he and over 200 others heard their takeoff was not going as planned.
Go 2668, we're reporting.
This air traffic control audio captures a terrifying announcement.
Okay, can I get the nature of the emergency? I think we had an engine failure. Okay.
They all start telling everybody to keep their heads down and stay down.
Delta says an engine issue forced an emergency stop during takeoff and an evacuation of the entire Boeing 757 onto the freezing, icy ATL tarmac. A flyer in another plane captured this video of passengers sliding off the plane to safety. Delta officials confirmed that 4 people were hurt. One of them was taken to the hospital. The airline says their flight crew followed established procedures to suspend the takeoff after indication of an engine issue. And, quote, nothing is more important than the safety of our people and customers.
A very big shout out to the Delta staff, who I think did an incredible job given the circumstances. It was just a very surreal time and a very big awakening of how fleeting life can be sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, communities across North Georgia experiencing the snow day a little bit differently, really, depending on where you were, right?
Yeah, I mean, people in Piedmont Park, we saw Patrick Quinn sledding live on air. And then we saw First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi, snowball fights, Floridian doing snow angles, I think in a Canton, you know, Cherokee County parking lot. And then we did have some of the more serious issues, you know, yesterday evening.
Yeah. So a lot of people sent us pictures and videos of themselves getting outside, enjoying what is really a rare sight here in Metro Atlanta. We saw a lot of snowmen out, as you mentioned. Check out this life-size one from a group of students at the University of Georgia. They even dressed them for the elements in a UGA shirt and hat. And check out this 10-year-old girl having some fun in the snow. Addison and her family moved to Atlanta from California 2 years ago. They probably didn't expect to see snow when they chose to move here, but here they go, clearly enjoying it. And some drone video from Locust Grove between McDonough and Griffin, a family using a golf cart to pull their little ones on a sled through the snow there.
And that wasn't the only way people navigated the snowy roads yesterday. Check out this woman in Atlanta's Reynoldstown neighborhood skiing down the street. And I even saw some folks in Ponce Highland, Somerset Terrace doing the same. The cutest videos, of course, were the dogs, the pups experiencing the snow in Canton. This paralyzed pup had no trouble navigating the snow. Joy, your animals too loving it.
Oh yeah, they definitely loved it. So sweet. And you know, we posted a lot of your snow day pictures on the Atlanta News First website as well as our app. They're adorable. If you scan the QR code on your screen, you can download the app. Again, that's free for Apple and Android users. And you know, you still can send in your images if you want to share as well.
Yeah, even adjacent to the QR code, and other than the QR code, you can just simply upload it to the see my photos section or upload photos section of the First Alert Weather app. Literally, all you do is scroll to the bottom of the app, click on post your photo or submit your photo. It'll open up your camera roll, video, photo, and then it's right in the palm of our hands. And you may see it on TV or on Atlanta News First social media. First Alert 7-day forecast. Want to let you know First Alert Weather Day tomorrow through noon. I think as we get into the afternoon, maybe noon 1 p.m. temperatures climbing safely above freezing. Not only that, but much more sunshine tomorrow. That means not only melting, but drying of our area roadways, even those secondary streets that are going to be a problem tonight into tomorrow morning. So black ice risk is there tonight into early tomorrow morning. Also, the possibility of some dense fog early on that could create some additional slick spots. Freezing fog a possibility late tonight into early tomorrow. Monday, just a 20 to 30% chance of a few sprinkles and very light showers, again, mainly well south of Atlanta. Not looking like a big freezing risk at this time. We will be keeping you updated, though. Tuesday, it is cold, hard freeze to start today, 40s in the afternoon. Same story Wednesday, closer to 50, but not there Thursday with sunshine. Finally back into the 50s Friday. That, though, is just ahead of our next cold front. All liquid rain with this one, but there is a shot that rain could impact some of those Saturday plans. If it trends any wetter or as we get higher confidence in the rain that we do see Saturday, we will put on that First Alert Weather Day and let you know that we're tracking the next inconvenience to your possible weekend plans. And we are going to be talking more about that tonight on Atlanta News First Plus, streaming at 8. Joy.
Thank you so much, Cutter, and thank you so much for joining us on Atlanta News First at 6 on Atlanta News First Plus. Be sure to join us again at 8, and then you can stay up for Atlanta News First at 10 and 11 o'clock on WANF. Have a great night.
I'm using a sock as a mitten. It works all right. It could be better, but you know what? When there's snow in Atlanta, you make do.
You good, babe?